Let me show my face. Maybe when I bring my face on, then you guys might join me. I am excited. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to AfriPel. This is Emma Vent again. I am your host this beautiful Saturday morning. I'm glad to be sharing this stage with two beautiful women that's going to be sharing their story about autism. If you're just tuning in quickly, I want to get a couple of things out of the way before we get started. If you are in Kansas City, hey, please show up. You still got a month or so to join to purchase a ticket. This is Rise 2026 in Purpose, empowering and elevating women for such a time as this. This event is in its second year. I am telling you, if you want to be inspired, empowered by women, oh my gosh, you don't want to miss this event. Hurry up. The tickets are almost out. So I know we already got tables going here and tickets are already out. I just want to highlight one of our very own Liberian sisters is going to be one of the speakers on here. Minister Say Docio is going to, this is her second year. They love the sister so much that they brought her in the second time. We also have other powerful women that is going to be speaking here. And thanks to the host, the brain behind this program, Maria Tutu. God bless you. Happy birthday again. She celebrated her birthday yesterday. Also, happy birthday to my beloved husband. His birthday is going to be on Monday. Happy birthday, James. God bless you. Thank you for being such a strong pillar behind us, your daughters. Okay. With no further ado, again, if you're tuning in, please tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to know where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions for our guests, just drop it in the comment line and we will be able to ask the guest the question. Again, if you are here, let us know where you're tuning in from. God bless you. I am Minister Emma Vent. And with me this morning, we have the beautiful Miss Garmin Lucky Holt. She is the brain behind Living with Autism Through My Daughter's Eyes.
Yes.
I have it wonderful. You are welcome. Thank you for coming on with us this morning. How are you?
Sure. Thank you, Emma. I am doing very well. How are you? And listen, I'm so excited to be a part of this uh, podcast today. And it's just wonderful to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
You are welcome. Thank you again. So we're just going to go right into it. We're not going to kill any more time. Tell me, your beautiful daughter, tell me, how did you find out about autism?
Yes. So, Emma, first of all, my daughter was born in 2001. And around that time, little was said about autism. I didn't know anything about autism. And again, just little or none was said about autism as we do hear about autism today. So I was really confused and didn't know what was going on. And my doctor, unfortunately, my doctor herself did not really know what was going on because she
Mm,
kept telling me, oh, you know what? Let's just wait next fall. Every time
mm,
we went for visit, she will say, let's wait next fall and then we'll see.
mm,
She's just right there. She just needs to jump over the little hump, because
mm.
my daughter did everything non-verbally.
Wow.
Um, so it was just, sometimes communication, eye contact, and those type of stuff. But she kept saying, "Oh, let's just wait for next summer, next fall, and then we'll see if she's not reaching these milestones. Then we will do, I will give you a referral." So, um, fast forward, she didn't meet those critical milestones.
Mm.
And then she said, so she kind of missed early intervention because of that.
Yeah.
So diagnosing your child early will enable your child, your family as a whole, to
True.
experience early intervention, which is a critical stage
It
in
is.
in a child's life that has,
Yeah.
some form of autism or delay.
So
So,
when did she finally find out?
well, at I was at 3 years old, 3.5. That was when she sent us to a developmental neurologist. So we went there, my husband and I at the time, and he observed her, he did his testing, this and that, and then he wrote on the prescription and said autism. I
Hmm.
still didn't know what
Didn't know what.
autism meant.
Right.
Thought that, it was something that she was going to grow out of. You know how
Yeah.
some like a um early childhood diseases and stuff like that.
Exactly. You get
Yeah,
over
the child will
time.
grow out of it. And that was my notion, not knowing about what was ahead of us.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, okay. So he said, take it to the school because
Okay.
she would need
Hmm.
education. So then, by then, again, we missed out on early intervention.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so critical for her, but we missed on that. We missed out. Took it to the child study team, and they came in and they observed her, and then they started to put things in place. Oh, we need her in this program. We need this.
Mm.
But
Yes.
again, as a mother who have never ever experienced such a developmental delay, um, so
It was hard.
I really didn't. Yeah, I was like hanging in there with her and trying to teach her because I am a teacher,
Okay.
So, but it got more because I told myself I'm going to devote my time to teaching my child. So
Yes.
after work, came home, and then we sat on the floor and I started to teach her, but it was not
It's
connecting.
connecting.
It was not
Hmm.
connecting. And as a, educator, I was like, there's
Hmm.
something deeper.
So, yeah. Yeah.
And that's how we went to the next level in terms of getting her support and all the care. But again, as a mom, I was still in denial.
Yeah.
I
So,
was,
there's something you just said that you're an educator, and when you
mhm,
sat there, it wasn't connecting. As an African mom, I'm
mhm,
looking back because we, as African parents, we try to, what's going on? You're trying to force it and scream at them and try to chastise them.
oh
And
yeah.
that's what I'm looking at. How did you deal with it as an educator and a mom?
Well, as an educator, I am a very patient person. So my goal was to fix her. My goal was to fix my daughter because it was like, oh my God, this is not my child. I have
Wow.
to fix this, you
Wow.
know? And I said to myself, I'm fixing other people's children. I'm
Yeah.
teaching. So, yeah. So I
Mm.
devoted my time to teaching her. And once it didn't connect, because there are simple things, in, out, those are early childhood educational stuff.
Yeah.
So, having a can, cup, and then just teaching the child,
Basic.
take this, put it in the cup,
Yeah.
and then take it out, and underneath, behind,
Yeah.
and there was no connection.
Yeah.
She didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Hmm.
I said,
It's hard.
no.
Yeah. Even up to now, as you're talking about it, I'm thinking that just the other day I was doing something. I was exercising, and I told my
Mhm,
daughter, "I'm like, get me water."
mhm,
But it looks like in their mind, you have
mhm,
to break it down in bits and pieces. You can't give them all of it at once. So when I say, "Get me water," she gets the
mhm,
water, but then she
mhm,
puts it down,
mhm,
and it's like,
mhm.
bring me the water, and she brings the
Yeah.
water and she's drinking it. I'm like, oh gosh. So you still run out of patience, like why is
You
not
do.
connecting? But then again, in their
Yeah.
mind is not coming through as we
Not
think it ought
connecting.
to.
Yeah.
And that's the difference when people look at the child and say, oh,
Mhm.
but she don't look like she got autism. It's like autism doesn't have a face.
It doesn't have a face. It does not. And for my educational philosophy is that, all children can learn. So I already had it in there
Got
that
you.
all children can learn. And you, as the parent, you are your child's first teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are things like I had the foundation of
Mm,
how to interact, how to teach my child. So I had
yeah.
to the back of my mind, I'm her first teacher. So
Got
I have to teach her.
you. Sure.
And knowing that it wasn't connecting,
Yeah.
you know what I
That's
was talking about? I was like, we are in trouble here.
yeah. That's
It's
hard.
bigger. It's yeah, yeah. So so that was my first encounter with autism. You just, learning about my own child, experiencing what it was, and me going through that whole stages of, denial because it took me a long time, Emma, to accept that my child was different.
Mm.
It took me a very long time because I was
Mm.
in denial.
I'm going to
Um,
bring this up while we're talking. Uh-huh. I like that because this is a thing that talks about different, but not
mhm.
less.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. They're just different.
Yeah.
So it took me a long time to actually accept. And that's a big word,
Mm,
accept.
it is. Do
Yes.
you go in and out? Because I find myself doing that. I will
Mhm,
accept it when I'm at home. Is
mhm,
our environment is our safe
mhm,
space, so we
mhm,
are okay.
mhm,
We're fine with it. We know it.
mhm,
But then when you go out, and then
mhm.
there's something that happens, or then it clicks again that oh, okay. Then do you go in and out of that space?
I did in the past, but
Okay,
now my daughter is older. She's
gotcha.
24.
Okay.
So, but up until she got to be an adult, I was back and forth with my emotions. Just,
Mm,
refusing to accept and then
yeah.
going back, accepting.
Yeah.
And but what really woke me up, um, when my son was 14 years old, he was a high schooler.
Hmm.
He said, Mom, um, you need to really wake up. He
Oh,
said, my sister is different. He
oh.
said, I see you trying to fix her, Mom.
Mm.
You
Wow.
need to fix yourself.
Wow. That's powerful.
14. He was 14 years old. He was telling me, he said, Mom, you need to accept man just as she is.
Wow.
Because my whole goal was completely different. I'm going to change this girl. I'm going to, especially when, sometimes we parents out of frustration say, oh, you should know better. That's
Yeah.
wrong. You can't say that
Hmm.
to a child that you should know
Yeah.
better because
That's so true. We
for
talk.
them, they are learning and we are their teacher. We have to.
Yeah.
So when he said that, that was the time.
That was a eye
Yeah,
opener.
yeah. I
And
opened
from
my
a 14-year-old.
I'm a 14-year-old because the whole thing, the diagnosis, it comes with guilt, a shame of it can't be my child,
Hmm. Yeah.
because all my kids are so smart. This one
Yeah.
here, I'm gonna fix her because when your child is born, you have a lot of expectations for your child.
Definitely.
Hi. So she was supposed to be the lawyer in the family, um, and that's how it was all planned. We had plans for our children, who
Wow.
was going to be who, and
Mm.
so yeah. So we said that okay, so she's the lawyer. But then the lawyer could not talk. Was like,
Oh,
no, we gotta fix this, you know.
yeah. Does she use the communicating device?
I will come there.
Okay.
Yes, long road, Emma.
Wow.
Long road. So anyway, when my son said that, I had to step back and I really had to think about, everything. And I had to put away the shame, the
Hmm.
guilt, because you
Yes.
start, asking yourself, did I do anything wrong? What did you start to question yourself a lot.
Yes. Yes.
You start to.
Yes.
So I had to put everything down because my son told me, he said, Mom, I have accepted my sister.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
she's different, Mom,
Yeah.
but you
Hmm.
need to accept her.
Amen.
Yes.
That is
So,
powerful.
yes. And that just changed my mindset. And, and I said, now I have to fight for her.
Hmm.
Now it's time for me to fight. Because the thing here is that you as a parent, if your mind, if you are stuck, your child will be stuck.
True.
You have to change your mindset and be the one to fight for your child. Say, I have to fight her like never
Yeah.
before.
Before I
I
have to
have
be her voice.
I have to be her voice. I have to be her
Yes.
advocate. I have to
Yes.
be, yes. So, and then I changed my mindset, my dynamic on how I approach this whole thing and started really advocating for my child and not blaming me or her or anyone else.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. You know that is important for people to understand because we do go through that period of guilt. What did I do wrong? Especially for me, my guilt was
Mhm,
when they tell you after 40 and you have a child, all these
mhm,
things can happen. But then
mhm,
I had to come to the realization that I didn't go to God and say, "Give me a child after 40," but He gave this child to me, and she's special in her own way,
mhm,
and that's
mhm,
how I look at it. So
mhm.
that is very important for us as mothers that have
Yeah.
children with autism, or those that just found out that their child has autism or has been
Mhm,
diagnosed.
mhm,
All
mhm,
those questions comes to
mhm,
mind, and how do
mhm.
you handle it? Here is one parent that is saying, "Look, I came to the realization that after all the blame game, I changed my mindset."
Yeah.
And that is what it takes, that change.
Exactly, exactly. And I was 30 when I had her. So I had her when I was 31. I got pregnant 30, 31. So I was young.
Yeah,
So it's not about age or anything
true.
because, people will make you feel so guilty. They will
Yep.
say, oh, because of this, because of that. No, I see children, not children, but young adult having children with autism,
Yeah.
children in their 20s, early 20s.
Yeah. And
So
they
it
go
got to
through.
tell you something
True.
that,
That is so
yeah,
true.
yeah. So it's that
Mhm.
whole people shifting blame and making you
Yeah.
feel bad. Feel,
Guilty.
yeah, I just put all that behind me. It used to bother me when she was younger. I used
Yeah.
to cry everywhere.
Mm.
I used to cry everywhere. I used to go to the store when she act up. It's like I'm acting up. I'll be crying. It's like almost you're crying because of so many things. What your child could have
Hmm.
been.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you have people looking at you like, "Oh, she's a bad mom." That don't bother me anymore. You can look at me up and down. I'll look at you up and down too, and then
I'll give you the look too, right? Yeah. What are
yeah,
you looking at?
yeah. You look at me up and down some kind of way. I'll look at you some kind of way and keep it moving. And then know
Keep
what
it
I'll
moving.
do when she's on the floor? That's a meltdown. I'll go and hug her.
Okay.
I'll kiss
Yeah.
her. I say, "Honey, come on, let's go. It's okay." I will
Oh,
comfort her, and you'll
yeah.
just look.
Yeah.
I won't even.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes,
This is
but
my world.
18. It didn't come so easy.
No. No.
No, it didn't come. It came with many years
I can
of,
imagine.
yeah, many years of in agony, in pain, and just stuck in shame and
Yeah.
guilt. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Awesome. So if you're just tuning in again, this is Emma Ben with Afripel. And on live, I have Ms. Game Lucky Holt. She is with her page is living with autism through my daughter's eyes, and you can follow her. She has some really, really good information on her page. So glad you could join us this morning. I am so grateful. So, I look at my child right now. She is only 11 years old, and I'm
Mhm.
looking at that age. She's coming into puberty, and she's coming to teenage years, and then all the when you get to, you say she's now 24. What does the future look like for her? How do you prepare them?
Well, first of all, you have to make sure your child is in a good special ed school, and that is something that our background, having cultural background.
Yeah.
And I fought for my daughter to
Okay.
leave the district school.
Mm.
Right? I fought for her to leave the district school. And people from our background, Liberians, they were like, why you want to do that? You need to have your daughter in a classroom with other children who are, so-called, okay children, so
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
can learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not right. Because she
Mm.
will be lost, completely lost in
Mm.
translation. And then she could even be bullied.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot, and she will not get the education deserve her. Okay, so I had to fight with the district. We almost went to court because they
Mm.
were refusing for my daughter to be transferred to a
Wow.
special, yeah, a developmental school. That was the best school
Interesting.
for her. Oh yeah,
You
oh
know,
yeah.
I've never thought about it. Speak what you're speaking of. Oh my gosh, time goes so fast and it gets so interesting. But
Yes.
you're saying something that right now that is
Mhm,
something I battle with, because when
mhm,
I look at my daughter, like we're talking about the communication device, I
mhm,
refuse to put her on it
mhm,
because she is verbal, but to
mhm,
some extent. She will
mhm,
not have a conversation like we will,
mhm.
but she will use one or two words, or sometimes she surprises us and use a full sentence. But
Same here. Same here. Hallelujah. Same here.
that's good. So I was like, her teachers would be like, she has it in her. It's just to get it out. And I go with the fact that maybe y'all need to, instead of keeping her in this space with just kids with special needs that are not on the same level as her,
Mhm,
maybe y'all
mhm,
need to put her in some other regular classes and see
mhm.
how it fits. And so that's something you're talking about makes me think,
Yeah,
is that good idea now, thinking about the bullying, thinking about how you fit in that community,
yeah,
all of that.
yeah. And it was because of my daughter that I went back and got a master's in special education and early childhood education. It was because of her, because I wanted to know how to handle, deal, and just with everyone, including the school district. So it was because of my background knowledge that I was able to fight for my daughter to get
Wow.
uh, to get out of district school, because you know what? They keep your child in district school
Mm.
because of the money. They don't want to pay
Ah.
for the services. Now, to keep my daughter in a special developmental, because those are all therapists, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Specialize
Realizing that.
in teaching
Mm.
specialized or developmental, child who has autism and things like
Yeah,
that. Uh,
yeah.
so it's not
Hmm.
easy to pay for those services.
I'm
It
gonna have
costs
to
about
check and see if we have a school like that in my area.
it costs about
Interesting.
100,000+ a year. Now, do you think my district wanted to pay for one child?
One child, yeah, for
Almost
that.
100,000 plus. So of
Hmm.
course, I had to go through the state of New Jersey. I I sent my letter in. It was not easy. It was
Yeah.
not, I went to the state level to fight for my daughter because this district said no. They wanted to
Mm.
hold her in the district school. So when I went to the state and started fighting, advocating for my daughter, they assigned an advocate with me.
Wow.
So the next thing we did, because look, listen, the district don't want to do anything for your child
Mm-mm.
because it's costly. There's so much money. They don't want to do it. They just want your child to stay and they keep pushing her up and not acquiring, you know,
Mm.
um, life
Life
skills.
skills. Yeah.
Because once they graduate,
That's it.
you're on your own.
Hmm.
So the first thing we did, I wanted my daughter to be retested.
Oh,
They didn't
okay.
want that.
Okay.
Functional analysis, behavior, speech, you name it, everything. Emma, it's money. You cannot afford it, my sister.
Yeah.
You, the
Mm.
only people can afford it is the district, it's the school. Your board of education can do that, and they don't want to spend it on your child.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
I requested for all of those. And you know what? It was like, you sure you want to do that? I mean, it's just going to be like a tedious,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
you know, testing. She was going to be in a room, one on one with a
Mm.
tester, and this and that. I said, yes, please.
Go
I want
ahead.
everything done. All right.
I like
Be-
that with calm demeanor
Yeah.
and don't.
Oh, yeah. Don't
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Just use your words so to get them. Yeah. Because I already think that we won't fight. So
Mhm, exactly right. We don't come to fight.
we don't
We
have to
come to
fight.
advocate.
Yeah. They did
Wow.
all the testing. When they did the testing, we had a big meeting. At the time, her dad even said to me, he said, Carmen, you cannot fight the school district. I said, you watch me.
You watch and see.
Because this is the type of survival skill. I gotta fight
Yeah,
for her.
for
My
her.
daughter
Yeah, no
cannot
one else
talk.
will. Yeah, no one
Yes.
else will.
So we fast forward, they did the test, and then we had gone for a big conference. The Board of Education, the this, that, the state came and parent, all the therapists came in a big
Mm,
conference room.
yeah.
Huh?
Hmm.
Sitting there at the table, long big table with this teacher, specialist, all that. So we gone out for the verdict. I'm sitting there and then the principal said, based on all of the findings, the testing, we are going to relocate your daughter to a developmental school. I
Wonderful.
say, hallelujah. Her pa said, I don't know how you did
How you
this.
did it? My God, that's God. That's
But
God.
you have to
Wow.
have the fighting spirit for your child. That's the
Yes.
fighting spirit. So we did it. And then it was the best thing. Because guess what? When my daughter was in district school, going to work was so difficult for me because when I at work in the classroom, guess what? They're calling me. Oh, she did this. Can you come and pick her up? Can you come and pick her
Mm,
up? So it
yeah.
was disrupting my going to work. So when
Yeah.
she went to the special services school,
They
they could handle
understood.
everything.
Yeah.
Correct her. They had everything there for
Everything.
her. All the
Wow.
therapists that needed to
Interesting.
teach her do that. Look, it was night and day.
Wow.
It
Now,
was
like from my school district, they have classrooms for kids with special needs. So what
Mhm.
your the school that you're talking about is not just one a classroom. It's like an entire school that's set up for special needs.
So yeah, yeah. So they have the district school where all children can go. Then
Mm,
inclusion class,
okay.
then this and that. But they do have special services school for
Okay.
children with autism or any type
Okay.
of disability that you feel like they will, because based on that specialized school, they are going to be getting specialized services.
Services. Wow.
Okay. So being in a district school, they will get services, but it will be limited.
Yeah.
They're not going to get, they're not going to spend time occupational,
No,
this
no.
and that, and all.
Mm-mm. They give you so many hours for certain things. Wow. It is so good speaking with you. I'm so glad we got this opportunity. We will have to have more conversation because she's going to middle school, and it's like she's been in this school now for the last 5, 6 years. Now she's going to middle school, and the
Mhm.
fear of oh, it's gonna be all right, and she's gonna be in the special class. But again, like you're saying, the special school give them the special
Yeah,
services that they
social
need.
services. My
You
daughter,
don't have to be asking them for this. I need more hours of this. I need more. Wow.
this is when you can sit down with your child study team and put in the IEP that because services is important for our children. You can't do it on your own. When they are in school, that's when you fight. And when they are little, now your daughter brain is still developing. And so this is the time to soak everything in her brain. Okay? So even speech, this is the time to even add more to her speech. All right. So she's in a perfect block for
Hmm.
growth and
Yeah.
development.
Yeah.
Okay. So my daughter was in middle school when I took her out, and she was going to a specialized school.
School.
And that was it for me, for my family, it was the best thing.
Best thing.
It was the
Wow.
best thing. So we used, when she was coming up, we used both pictures and it was a pack system. When she
Yeah.
was in the district school, they never really cared. They were just giving her, the same as the other children, writing
Mhm.
sentences
Yeah.
and this and that. Okay, yeah, but beyond that, they need
Yes.
more.
Got you.
They need more other than, yeah. They need life
Mhm.
skills. They need
Yeah.
life skills to be able to navigate. They
Mhm.
need, and it's just the kids, yeah, they do very well in,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, God, it's so wonderful talking to you. I appreciate it. We're going to talk after again, more information from you, but like you giving more information to us that I
Mhm.
too never knew. And that's what is good to talk to other parents who
Yes,
are going through what you're going through so you can learn
absolutely.
from them. This is the area that we are still learning, we're still growing, we're still developing. God
Mhm.
bless you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Mhm.
We will talk again. Again, if you want to follow her, her
Mhm.
page is Living with Autism Through My Daughter's Eyes, and she will give you good nuggets about autism. Thank you. My next guest is live and is ready to join us. We'll talk again. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless
Thank
you.
you,
If
Emma,
you
for
want to
having
hang
me.
around, while I'm talking to Mary, and you have questions or more input, you can always tune in. Oh, you got a little kitty cat. My
I
mom
got a
has
cat.
a cat.
That's my daughter's cat. That's
Oh
her
yeah.
cat. Yeah.
All right.
But I
My
will
mom
watch
has
you guys behind. So,
okay.
yeah. So I will
All
let you
right.
guys go ahead and have your conversation and I will follow.
All righty. Wonderful. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. So you gonna take me off or
Yeah, I'm gonna just put you in the back. A minute.
okay.
All right, all right. Thank you so much. If you're just tuning in again, I'm Emma Venn with AfriPel. This is Autism Month, and you just heard our guest Game. Oh my gosh, I've learned so much in that short period of time from her. And now we have another guest who is joining us. She is no stranger when it comes to autism. I was introduced to her platform about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's laughter, it's joy, is cries, and it's everything in between. So we want to welcome our next guest, and is my journey through autism, Mama Auntie Mary. Um, Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. God bless you. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me. And please, in case I'm talking and my phone goes off, please forgive me. We've been in the dark for the past 12 hours, so
Oh no. Okay, no
we
worries.
don't have electricity. So please forgive me.
Okay, I totally understand. Mary, oh Mary, I follow you. Ya is all of our daughters, right? We love her, we follow her. When do you, before we even get to Ya, when do you find time for you?
I try. The work never gets done.
No.
You finish 10 tasks and 20 is waiting for you. But I've also learned not to wait till night to get sleep at all. I
Mm,
used to wait till the evening when, everybody has to go to, but I don't wait anymore. So sometimes I practically make time when my daughter is going to work or maybe going for therapy or somebody is taking her out. I use that time to get a bit of rest for myself.
mm,
The other thing I try to do that helps a lot. I sit in my bath and have the water,
just
flow
pour
on me.
on
I think
you.
yeah, pour on me. It helps a lot to relax, listen to music. These little things helps a lot. It does. But as we grow older, you don't get those 7, 8 hours uninterrupted sleep anymore.
No,
Yeah, so in between the day, you get an hour here, appreciate it. You get some 30 minutes here, appreciate it. It all helps. So
it all works
that's
out.
how I do it. And God keeps us going.
Amen. Amen. That is wonderful. So we know you have shared your daughter with us. We see, yeah, she has blossomed into a beautiful young lady. But I want you to take us back to when you first heard the word autism mentioned.
Thank you very much. It's been a very long, lonely journey. I never knew what autism was. I'd never heard of it. I was a teacher and one that felt so proud at the time, and I didn't know anything
Mm,
about it. And it was my friend who visited us. She was a Peace Corps volunteer who came to our house, and just some few minutes of being with us, she looked at my daughter and the behavior and said, "Is your daughter always like this?" And I said, "Yes." And I asked why. Then out of the mouth, she said, "Looks like she's on the autism spectrum." It was my first time.
mm,
And this was when she was about 3 years. I went to hospital. The doctor said, "Oh, I'm just a worried mom. I should enroll
mm.
her in mainstream. She would be okay." We went to school 4 years. She was still not potty trained. She was very hyperactive. She would not sleep at night. And then the few words she had, she stopped using those words, what we normally term as retrogressive autism.
Yeah.
And so in between 4 to about 6 years, I was just going up and down, praying, looking for a miracle cure, until finally when she was 6, and I could tell that,
Something was not right.
oh, I could tell for sure that something was not right, you know. And then finally she was diagnosed officially at age 6. Um, it was difficult. I've been in denial for so many years. Even after she was diagnosed, I was still in denial. I was waiting and
Yeah.
praying, until she menstruated at 9. And
Well,
then I
at
said, no,
9?
at 9, yes. When she was not potty trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
So it was
God.
then I said, no,
No, it's not.
I can't still continue to sit on the fence. I had to do something. And so I joined 52 Facebook groups
Hmm.
just to learn about autism. And then, I'll post about my daughter and I'll ask questions, and they were very generous. They would, call back. They would tell me what to do. I took opportunity of every training offered my way, but it was
Wonderful.
difficult. We had nannies. Within 1 year, we had changed 7 nannies.
Wow.
7 within a year. So when it was very difficult, my husband asked me to stop working and
Yeah.
become a full
Time.
time caregiver. It's been difficult. It's been very difficult, but I've also learned along the way. You know,
Yeah. 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 And what have been some of your joys with, yeah? What have some of your joys Some of your celebrating moments with Yah.
Um, she had this sense of gratitude, anyway, maybe because she doesn't talk to. Whatever you give her, even if you give her the smallest, she appreciates it. And, um, she's extremely neat, which I think she has, is it OCD?
Yeah.
I think, yes, I think she has that because in this house, we are never free. You can't just put things anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Towels must be at his place. We must lay our bed. We must put spoons where they belong. You can't sit on your bed and eat.
Oh
You
no.
must sit at the table. Shoes must be put at the right place. Even our car, you
Yeah.
know,
Wow.
our car, parked right.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Straighten the.
Wow. I think we lost. It looks like we lost you there. Yeah, it looks like she did say to forgive her in case we go out. So I understand we probably got a glitch there. But if you're tuning in, this is Emma Venn with Afripel, and with me, my guest today is Mary Amoa Kufor, and that is her platform is My Journey with Autism, and she has shared her daughter Nana Ya with us. We all follow Nana Ya, and I'm just gleaning from these women this morning. They are sharing a lot. If you missed my first guest, go back to the show and watch. So we understand that autism is a lot to handle, and someone does not exhibit autism in the face. Some may. Let me not be general about it, but there are some might be some little things that we experience. So she's talking about her daughter. Yeah, she found out by 3 when someone told her about it, and 6. But I would love for her to come back because we're talking. She talked about puberty, and my daughter is 11, and that's my fear. Will she understand what she's going through? Um, will she adjust? Oh my gosh, it's so scary. But I'm trusting God that when she gets there, she will know it means, what it's all about. Again, we just lost our guest, Auntie Mary. Um, so today is the last Saturday of April, and we're talking about autism. This is no longer strange. Back in the 2000s or back then in the 90s, no one knew what autism was. That was foreign. 2000s, people are just getting to learn about autism. Now, it's like 1 in every 4 or 5 kids is diagnosed with autism. And one thing my previous guest mentioned was that early detection. Parents, if you just realize there is something not right, we as adults we do it, okay? When we find out something's not going right, what we do, we want, oh, it's going to get better. Oh, I'll just give it another day or so. Oh yeah, over time it's going to improve. But if you are that child's advocate, you are the one that spend the most time with that child, so you know when something is not right. um so you want to talk to their child's doctor, and don't let them put you off. Now I've learned too from a previous guest, Jackie. She talked about these different therapists that her child has, occupational ABA, the different doctors like psychologists and psychiatrists and all these doctors. So you want to be that child's advocate. I hope that Auntie Mary comes back on, but If she doesn't, I totally understand. She mentioned that they have been without electricity for 12 hours. So that could be the reason why. Probably phone died or something. But yes, Abigail is, come, Abby, come tell the people hi. Come tell people hi. She we talk about the what is it called? The communicative device. Abby has that, but for her, she uses it to play on YouTube. So I do not let her play with it for that reason. She has words. You give her the sight words, little girl will go through those sight words, but you can have a one-on-one conversation with her. Again, we're still waiting to see if Auntie Mary is going to be able to come back. We might have to do this another day, um, because she did mention that there was issue with electricity. So I think that's the reason why. But thank you so much for tuning in. Normally, we like to leave with a word of inspiration, a word for the day. Today, I decided to do an hour because there's so much information when it comes to autism. There's so many other families or mothers I could interview, but we only have 4 Saturdays in April. So let's tune in again. Maybe we might just continue this topic next month. Again, this Saturday is the PanCan Run, Pancreatic Cancer Walk Run in Kansas City. This year makes it 10 years since my sister passed away from pancreatic cancer. And we are supposed to be out there today walking in honor of Dr. Marilu Sherman. So once I leave here, I'm going to be going all out there. I will come live so you can see what we're doing. That's, I think April might be pancreatic cancer month as awareness as well. But there's so many things we want to be aware of. So many happenings around us. Oh, here she is. She is coming back. Give me one moment. Where's she at? Okay. It says she came and then she went back off. Bummer. Okay. So, so we're just giving a few more minutes here. I like this flyer that tells us autism teaches us that different does not mean less, it means unique. And that is so true because when you see a child with autism, they may not look like you and I, they may not communicate like you and I, they may not act like you and I, but they are special in their own way. They are unique in their own way. Like Auntie Mary was just saying when I asked her, what are those moments of joy when it comes to Yah? She mentioned that Yah is a tidy person. She wants to make sure everything is in order and in place. So that is unique about, because there are some people, they just put things all away and don't care. But she wants to make sure. I remember, I've noticed that about Miss Abigail here. Where I am sitting right now is not where my laptop is. She normally will find it. I'll have it in the dining room or downstairs when I'm working. So it seems like she noticed that the laptop is not where it's supposed to be. The last Saturday, she picked up my laptop and her sister was like, ah, like, what are you doing with your mom's laptop? Like, you know, you're not supposed to mess with it. But she picked it up. She took it to the kitchen on the dining table. She set it down, opened it up, and plugged it like I'm about to work. So they like things in order. That's some of the special characteristics of kids with autism. And it doesn't mean, another thing that comes up is like, mean I cannot talk, but it doesn't mean I cannot hear. Kids with autism, they might not be able to communicate, they might not be able to speak, but be careful what you say around them. She's trying so hard to log in. I see you, Auntie Mary. We're just going to give her a few more minutes here. Um, Unfortunately, it says device not connected. So we'll probably have her next week so we can have a longer time with her. Um, I'm just going to tell her, how about next Saturday? We can do it next Saturday and then continue, because this is a very important topic when it comes to autism and kids and parents that are dealing with kids with autism, that denier phase, that phase, that pity party. Because I remember I used to do the pity party thing. One time I was just pouring my heart to someone about what Abby cannot do and going through all these things. And then and the person just went quiet on the phone while I talked and talked. And then it's like a Holy Ghost hit in the head, like, duh, while you're here explaining all this thing, have you stopped to look at her situation? And she was like, yeah, I hear you talking. And I have this, that, and the other. I'm like, and I'm complaining. I should be grateful because it could have been worse. So thank you, thank you, thank you all for tuning in. God bless you. It was a wonderful conversation with Game. And then we had a bit with Auntie Mary, but we're going to continue next Saturday. God bless you. You stay blessed. Enjoy the day. And until next week, I'll see you then. If you have questions, any concerns, join us next Saturday and we will continue this conversation.